Cindy Mackenzie, City Mack personal trainer. I'm really excited about talking to you today. Tiny bit about my personal and professional background. Personally, I'll be married to Matt 37 years this summer. Very happy and very lucky gal. I have a daughter named Madison, and she works at the VA hospital in Palo Alto. The really great thing about that, there's a lot of great things, but the best thing is that she's mostly local. So we get to see her after so many years of schooling and being far away, not being able to see her around the holidays. So that's fantastic. My 90-year-old mother lives with us. Many of you know that, and Matt and I are her main caregivers, but she's doing well. We're hoping she'll thrive this year. Last year was tumultuous with 3 heart surgeries and rehab. So we're very excited to have her kind of status quo with the heart and moving forward. So I'm blessed to have her in the home. And certainly not least, and mostly a lot, my Black Labrador Vivi brings me great joy and happiness every day. Big part of my life. Professionally, so I'm gonna celebrate 9 years old. I like the way Susan said that, 9 years old this year. Actually this month as being a personal trainer. I'm not sure how I got here, but 9 years has gone by really fast. Prior to that, 25 years in the franchise business of Jazzercise, which I adored and have family friendships for that for the rest of my life. Really had a great time with that, was able to raise Madison at the same time. And then prior to that, just out of college, was in the brokerage business, believe it or not, in San Francisco for 7 years. So kind of a big flipty doodle around for me, but certainly a great journey and glad to be where I am now. So personal training wise, why am I a little different than, the multitudes out there? So a little bit of what I said in my business introduction is that I mostly work with the senior population. I really enjoy that. I have the specialty to work with them. Many of you understand what CECs are, continued education credits, and I do a lot of my work with my continued education with seniors. It's an ever-changing, evolving world. Also, the other thing that kind of helps in referring me, I have an orthopedic specialty, and that's kind of a big umbrella word. And basically, what I'd like you to remember with that is that I can kind of take over after the physical therapist. So physical therapy gets you to a certain point. They usually send you home with a CD of exercises or pamphlets of what you're going to do to move forward. And lots of times it's hard to stay accountable to that. I'm a great person that can come in and take those exercises, help you to get stronger. But I can also, the more important part, I think, is getting stronger and then moving forward. So taking that, increasing that strength, that mobility, and getting you back to your 100% of your ADLs or activities of daily living, and then moving beyond that so that you get kind of your functionality back and all the things that you love to do, whether it's golfing, hiking, biking. So those are 2 good things to remember. The third one that sets me slightly apart is being mobile. I'm a mobile trainer. Now that used to be a big part of my business prior to COVID. And that provided my new clients with accountability, and I just show up and we're ready to go. A lot easier for a lot of people who are either in a business situation and work situation where they have to go early into the city. So I meet them early. Now I do that on Zoom, but that will be a big perk moving forward. Me showing up at people's either homes or their businesses or nursing home. So that's kind of in a nutshell of easy way to refer me or think about my business. It's certainly not all of it. It's just some tidbits that I thought I'd give you to help you remember how best to refer me to clients. What I'd like to do is give back to you guys a little bit today. And of course, when January rolls around, it's a time of reflection for many of us on maybe some of the bad habits or just things that have happened in the past that they've fallen into, maybe because of COVID has made things even more challenging in terms of not moving. It could have gone the other way. You two could have taken this as an opportunity to really work on your health and fitness. And I know people that have. But if you're one of those people that are reflecting maybe in the last year or 2 and feel like your sedentary has becoming a little bit more of a word that you're finding in your vocabulary, and want to change that, so that health and fitness goals that might come up for you this year.
5 minutes.
Thank you. Perfect. It helps to kind of reflect on what happened, but also, or what's happened in the past and what you're looking for in the future. But a great way to kind of hone in some of these goals is to work on those SMART goals, that acronym that we've always used in business, you know, specific, measurable, attainable, and realistic, and time sensitive. And it's really a great way to work with new clients or people coming back with new goals. You maybe have a goal of being more fit or losing weight, and those are huge goals. And I can help you kind of hone in on that and make smaller goals to build up to the next goal, to build up to the next goal, to get to that bigger goal of being more fit or being more healthy in your body. So consider that. If anybody in the group has trouble with that, please reach out to me. It'll be no charge. We can talk about those things. I'm pretty good about doing open-ended questions to kind of hone in on what you might want or need in order to achieve those goals. But better yet, what I thought I'd do, and I almost always do with when I do my presentation, is some things that if you are tied to a desk, and any given day, maybe you're tied to the computer, you're tied to conference calls, you're tied to whatever it happens to be, maybe you're tied to the TV, and you're not moving very much. Try and make a goal of 20 to 30 minutes of getting up and moving, doing something. So you can use tools. We have so many tools now. We've got the phone, you can set a timer. We've got our smart watches, you can set a timer. You have Post-it notes, those fancy things, where you write down a time and you cross it off when you're able to get up and move around every 20 to 30 minutes. If you're tied to 5-6 minutes in between calls or working with people online, get yourself up from that, try and re-energize. The best thing, of course, is to get outside, get some fresh air, be out in nature. But if you can't, then some obvious things would be, I always work as a foundation of stand-ups, because it is a foundation. If you can't get out of a chair, that's when your life becomes more expensive, because then you got to pay somebody to help you get out of a chair. So let's stay limber and strong enough to be able to get out of a chair. So if you're at the computer, you want to take some time to get your heart rate up and move to the edge of your chair, use your hands on your thighs, stand all the way up, there goes my head, and lift so that the top of your head is to the ceiling, extending the spine all the way, and then sit back down. A good goal would be to try and do 10 of those in a row. Maybe 10's a little bit too much. So try 5, take a little rest, and 5 more. And I might hear from a client, ooh, this hurts my knees. It's really hard to do. There's no cheating. There's just making adaptations so that it's good for your body. Use the handles on the side of your chair. Push up off that, make that help you. Or take a little rocking motion and push yourself up to a standing position. Once you're up, march in place for 30 seconds. All you got to do is march, pump those arms, get that blood flow flowing through you up to your brain to clear your head, so that the next client you go to and work on Zoom, you got a little pink in your cheeks, you got some, you're refreshed, and your body feels good. The trunk, the core that we talk about a lot. So it doesn't move much, so we need to move it. We need to try and move this area. So take your feet apart, slight bend in the knees, right elbow comes in, stretch and reach overhead. This is a 2-for-1 special. 1 minute.
1 minute.
Perfect, thank you. 2-for-1 special, because I'm crunching here, but I'm stretching here. And now I'm crunching here, but I'm stretching here. So you get a little oblique abdominal work, some lat work, yeah? And you're getting some opening and some stretching. You'll actually be taller after you do this. You might consider grabbing your elbows. Your knees are nice and soft, feet are apart, and you'll rotate. So careful, because now you're twisting, right? So you want to pull in your belly button and go nice and gently side to side without moving your hips. So it's going to make this mobile. You need to keep this mobile in order to get up off the floor if you ever, God forbid, fall down, okay? The last thing I want to do, place that right foot right next to your calf muscle, squeeze it in. Take the other arm overhead. Hold it for 15 seconds. Try the other side. This is some good balanced core work. Work your way up to 30 seconds on each side. Those are just a couple of things that you can do. And Connie's going to save time. I'm so glad that you guys listened. Thank you for your time today. Happy New Year. Cindy Mack, personal trainer.